back to Men's Truth as we air another amazing episode, a new week, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to start off first and letting you guys know of amazing blessings that God has amongst us today. I say that because we are in a new anointed location here, a new studio. Our production has been blessed with a place that we feel like is our freedom safe place. I would say so. Man, and just not only that, to say that, our production crew is amazing and for what he has done for us. I want to thank you again, Emil, for being in this new place we have here. You guys don't really get to see it, but just the transition that this guy has to go through and stand tall and be a superhero to his family while trying to make this, available for us. We appreciate so much. Man,
superheroes don't wear capes, man.
They don't.
Wear sweatpants and jeans. Just put your pants on, man.
They do the same way.
And that's the truth, man. Yeah. Clark Kent wears a cape. Superheroes actually wear jeans and sweatpants.
Okay, so what would you give him? You gonna call him a superhero?
No, Clark Kent, man. He's
a businessman. There you go.
Yeah, he's a
fake.
He's faking it till he's making it.
Leotards underneath his suit. Here we go.
he has to use his own imagination to go into a small telephone booth or to go into a small place to transform. But the great thing about men, I'm going somewhere. Because the great thing about men is we don't have to go into any small places to transform.
Yeah,
God gives us the ability to be what we need to be for our families.
Absolutely.
So that's why I say superheroes put on sweatpants and jeans.
True that. Tennis shoes.
Sometimes,
Slides.
we're starting to get into Crocs because our feet be hurting, man. Hold on, big fella.
Where you get Crocs from, bro? You didn't miss the slide. You didn't pass slides to Crocs.
Nah, man, because slides you can still kind of slip and fall and you can't be grounded. But man, you can put those Crocs in sports mode.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
you can put the Crocs in sports mode, man. Hey, man, I see people move furniture with Crocs on, man.
Hey, don't even laugh because you got a pair right now.
Hey, it's beautiful though, man. Yeah. To piggyback off of what my brother was saying, man, it's such a blessed day. I'm honored to have my youngest son who just celebrated his prom, and he's getting prepared for graduation.
Yeah, I ain't see it. Check out.
It's in the building,
check out
man.
That boy.
Yeah,
he was fresh though.
Yeah, that boy was fresh. I said, wait a minute.
He looked like a superhero. Just changed that real quick.
Yeah, Daddy got him right. Mama did too. I'm sorry, baby. Mama did too.
No,
of course, she had her
50-50.
say so. But man, it's such an honor, man, to be a dad.
Yeah,
it really is, man. And I wouldn't change being a father for anything in the world. And it's the greatest gift. And it's like God has allowed me to replay my life, even all of my mistakes and shortcomings. Mm-hmm. God has given me an opportunity with my 3 kids, man, to try to perfect some things in areas that I made mistakes. They don't know.
Yeah.
That's how I can tell them where they are. Like, I went down that road before, but this particular time I think it's best if you went left because I went right. If you go right, I know what's ahead. Don't go that way. So that's the great thing, man, about us being fathers.
Yeah, we constantly changing. They don't understand this. I called it like a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
You don't have a perfect set every single time. Every time you spin, every time you wake up, you spinning that Rubik's Cube around to learn how to do it the right way. So when it's their turn, they don't fall into the potholes. They don't sit here and hang with the wrong people, make the wrong decisions.
Yeah.
Or just need motivation in life. Because now a lot of the teens don't have the motivation to say, okay, I want to push to the next level because, it's not for everybody anymore. That pathway might not be for everybody anymore. So as parents, we're always trying to find new ways to get them to grow and live for it. So, man, fatherhood is much more than that. You become a provider. You become a teacher. I call it substitute because the mom's always taking over. But we like the substitute teacher in the game.
Didn't mean that, Lord. Man, you trying to get us in trouble? We only 5 minutes in the show,
man. I'm just trying to say, though. I slid it right back in. Sorry if you see me. We right back in there, though. But, this is what we do, man. And like you said, like being a father, It's like no other. Seeing a little one develop all the way into be a teen, a teen adult. You like, man, like, dang, you go back to being little. Now you don't even want to hang out with me.
Yeah, man.
What's wrong with y'all, man?
Yeah. You know what, man? We're gonna circle back around this block, man, because before we get too far ahead, you know, I want to kind of go into our sports recap just because we got something special going on here for probably the next month.
Yeah.
We got NBA playoffs.
Playoffs. You want to talk about playoffs?
NBA playoffs, man.
Who you going for?
Is that a trick question?
Oh, we already know who you going for. I'm just wondering
The
if you're going to change up just a little bit.
Never. Ain't no change up, man. LeBron James.
Man, you could be like, all right, I'm going to go pick the Celtics.
I hate the Celtics.
Why would you be like that, bro?
Because I'm a Lakers fan. Did you really ask me why I hate the Celtics?
Just give them a little credit this one time.
No.
What about Miami?
No. Did Miami lose last
What about
night?
the Indiana Pacers? Oh, I forgot. I don't even do it either. I'm just playing, y'all. I love y'all, you know. I don't support y'all all the time, but I love y'all.
I bet you don't even know the seed of
I
the
don't.
Pacers.
I really don't. I don't know the seed of none of them, though, actually, because it's going to be all messed up by next week. It's going to mess up. You know, somebody's going to win, lose, whatever. It's going to be messed up. That's what happens, you know. So why should you put all the heat on me to pick?
Well, that's what's going to happen. Teams winning teams. You just stated facts, you know, but you still got to pick. So, okay, you rolling with the Pacers all the way through?
No.
So, man, you such a traitor to your homes. That don't make no sense.
I'm not a traitor, man. I just, you know, I like who I like.
The Pacers, when was the last time the Pacers were in the playoffs? Was it Paul George?
Yeah. Think about that era.
Man.
That's a long time.
That's crazy. Yeah. And they back.
They back.
You not pulling for them?
They do good.
Man, Halliburton.
I just feel like they missing.
Halliburton.
That's one person, though.
No, they got a pretty good team, bro. But
he's
an all-star. He's the all-star of the team.
But you're going to need at least 2 or 3.
They have a decent team, bro.
Yeah, but how often
I think they are like the 4th seed. Is that correct? Never mind.
Why would you ask me? Why would you ask me? Like, I'm supposed to know this. Anyways,
man, you gotta tighten up, man.
The playoffs is happening. This is the only time I really watch, you know, any of these sports because I feel like this is the only time they really show up and put everything out there. You know.
Yeah. I disagree, man. I watch sports because it's enjoyable. I get it's therapeutic. I'm one of those guys that just enjoy sports. So I can watch hockey, I can watch baseball, I can watch basketball. You know, of course, Tiger. We had Masters going. You know, so I mean, I'm just a sports guy.
Okay, you see how everybody complain how the All-Star events go, and they saying that everybody is just like playing around, not playing defense. Some of these games, until it gets right to that wire where they know they need to make the cutoff, that's when they start playing. Before then, like, why are you not going all in?
It's entertainment, bro.
Man, we ain't got time for entertainment when you compete.
WWE.
Every time I put on a jersey. And somebody
you was trying to hurt somebody.
Somebody's trying to hurt me. So
it was like, man, this guy, he's got anger issues.
Right, underneath that helmet, they never knew it.
He was like, I'm gonna kill everybody.
If y'all ever watched the movie The Program, if you're back in our era, y'all know about The Program. Yeah. Hey, that once he set the tone of how you have to talk to somebody, or was it Any Given Sunday?
Any Given Sunday, also.
You had to talk trash.
Nobody was as bad as my guy off of the Program, though.
No, he knew your mama, your cousin.
Did you kill my cousin?
No.
yeah, that was you. So, I get it.
My anger issues came from that movie. So I developed a different side inside that helmet. But we played because when those games happen, you have to play all out. So I don't understand why would you go half of your efforts throughout the season until now you got to make the playoffs.
I understand.
So that's where I come from. Now you just keep watching. I'll catch up to you when the playoffs happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna put myself out there. I got the Lakers beating the Nuggets.
Ooh.
We're getting our lick back. I know the Nuggets are the number 2 seed. I know we are the number 7 seed. But we also played those guys in the Western Conference Finals last year.
So it's a payback.
So I think we get our payback this year. I think we are possibly starting to watch the end of LeBron's career as a Laker. With the talks of Bronny coming in, his son coming into the NBA, I think something's brewing up. So why not get you one more in LA, with AD?
Oh, yeah.
And I think we have a better team this year than we had when we won the bubble championship
I
in
was just
2020.
about to say that.
I think this is a better
The bench
team.
is fire.
Yeah.
The bench is fire.
The second unit,
Yeah.
third unit, like that. LeBron needs stuff like that, man, to continue his growth, man, because he don't have to play 38 minutes, 40 minutes a night. He can give you 30 minutes, 32 minutes, and 25 points and 15, assists, or 12 assists and 11 rebounds, and he can do it comfortably. Give you 5 assists this quarter, 5 assists that quarter, 4 rebounds. He don't have to go out and be old vintage LeBron. But when that vintage LeBron do show up, he is.
He moving.
He the king.
He moving.
LeBron James.
If
Hey,
y'all-
man. And I think that's what's going to happen against the Nuggets. He got to get his lick back against Michael Porter Jr. and old boy, what's my guy, man? The Duncan dude, man. Light skin, light bright, almost white. With the dreads. Man, I can't think of that boy's name. Aaron Gordon.
Oh yeah,
Aaron Gordon kind of bullied Bron last year, man, in the final, in the Western Finals, man. So we got to get our lick back, man, for real. So
Yeah.
I got my Lakers, and I hope and pray that we see Boston in the finals, man. So I would love to see that. We'll continue to go throughout, because the good thing about basketball, man, this is a 7-game series, so this is something that's going to be drawn out, each round. So I'm excited, man. It's basketball time. It's playoff time, dude.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see a lot of people watching now.
Yeah.
So be tuned in.
Yeah. So
Any other bases?
we'll try to make our recaps. We'll try to do it to where we pick a winner. We help people pick winners. We'll we'll pick game winners. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about NBA.
He gonna
playoffs.
have all the stats.
Yes.
All of them.
I can get it right
all
now.
All on LeBron. Nobody else. Just LeBron.
No, that's kept. That's kept. I used to couldn't stand LeBron, man, because it was his fans. I used to call his fans the Bronsexuals.
Where you
Man.
get that from?
Because, man, they was always riding LeBron jock, man. I hate it. Like nobody else ever existed.
Yeah.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan is the GOAT. End of discussion.
See?
When Kobe played in the same time as LeBron, Kobe was the best player in the league. And people literally will argue that. How do you argue facts? So, man, I used to have my facts, and the Bronsexuals used to come out. They like the beehive for Beyonce. The Bronsexuals come out and they defend LeBron. So it made me look at the certain parts of his career like, man,
It's like,
who cares?
Just think about it. Brady
Yeah.
being at the top of
my
his
God,
game, right?
Brady's fan
So-
base too. Jesus Christ.
That's alum though. So respect.
Man, ain't no respect.
Respect.
He ain't getting no clout
Go
for
Blue
real with y'all
all
man.
day. What you mean, bro?
Go ahead.
All
Chad
day.
Henne.
And hey, all day chat. Anyways,
Yeah,
so that means you got to respect Tom Brady for what he's did while he was in the league. There was other quarterbacks that was fired during that time. But when when they say he washed up and all this, they
Football
always
guy
show up
always goes to football. Just
All
so
day.
happen he talks about Michigan.
all day.
But I can go there
Repping.
too.
But we ain't gonna get lost in the
let's
sauce.
hold on before we since let's talk about Michigan just real quick. Give me your top 3 Michigan players of all time. And you better do it right.
Really?
Oh, you take your time
You really wanna
and
go
savor the moment.
Yeah,
This is
Tom
your
Brady,
moment.
Desmond Howard. Charles
Whoa. Fold your hands
Why?
back.
For what? For what?
Why did you start with Tom Brady? Now, I'm not talking about his NFL career.
No, we ain't talking-
I'm
Are
talking
you talking
about
about
his
the player?
Michigan. Don't you dare put Tom Brady in there. Man, what's wrong
Charles
with you,
Woodson,
man?
Desmond Howard,
Absolutely.
and,
Yeah, come on.
Let me get my
Come on.
running back. Well, I'm gonna give me a new one. I'm gonna put one of the new dogs on the table. You got one of our young bucks right now. This is the best running back of all time in the game. What's his name? Say it.
No,
Say it.
I'm asking
Say it.
you, sir.
Blake Corum.
I disagree. You know
You
who
can't say you disagree because
you know
he got a ring.
He does.
He got the record, and you can't overshadow the young bucks.
I like Braylon Edwards.
I played with Braylon. I know what he can do. But you telling me he was better than
He was
Desmond?
a dog. No, I'm agreeing with Desmond and I'm agreeing with Charles Woodson.
Okay, so then you adding the fourth.
No, that's why. Hey man,
You
it's
adding the
just
fourth.
my opinion.
Because you can't leave out Young Buck.
Braylon Edwards. See, when I watched Michigan and Braylon Edwards was there, right?
I was in the game.
I knew for a fact Braylon Edwards was gonna get off.
Yeah.
He was the best receiver in the
Killer.
doggone NCAA. Right or wrong.
I was right there in practice. I was right there in the game.
So how do you not?
I'm not Braylon. I ain't leaving you out.
Yes,
at all.
he is. No,
Hey, I ain't
Cody,
leaving him out at
I
all.
just gave him a chance.
You gave
I
me-
threw him a-
You up here?
You trying to tell me that
I'm giving
new
one each.
kid?
I'm giving one
No,
each.
you're not gonna get a 1A
giving
and
one
1B.
each. Yeah,
That's
A
what
and
we
B.
not gonna do. I just gave you an opportunity of a lifetime to give your boy Braylon Edwards the biggest shout out,
I just
who
did.
you said you played with,
did.
and you talking about a kid that broke a record in a receiver happy league. Man, Braylon Edwards was out. He was out there balling in a time where it was all about the running back.
Yeah, Reggie Bush years.
For real.
Okay, so you
And he was a complete dog.
so put him
100%.
in there. Then you adding four.
That's my three.
I can't overlook
Braylon Edwards,
I can't overlook the
Charles
young buck,
Woodson, and Desmond Howard. That's
Okay.
my choices.
But his name will forever be on the wall, though, too. Young Buck's name will be on the wall in the history books. So why would you overlook the history books, which you are all about history?
I'm all about dog history. It's about dogs.
Now, if you want to do
Who
that,
is a dog?
you want to ask him about you want now. That's a whole.
That's
nother
what I'm
discussion.
talking about. I'm
Nah,
talking
you
about
You just
man,
switched it. He
when,
switched
when
it
Charles
midway through
Woodson,
that.
when Charles Woodson played for y'all, right? Nobody had a doubt in their mind. Whatever point, whatever time Charles Woodson was on the field, he was that dude. He was that guy.
Absolutely.
Whether if he was on the offensive side, or if he was on the defensive side, or if he was on special teams. Come on, talk to me. Desmond Howard was the same way. Man, Braylon Edwards, you couldn't double team
Yeah.
him. You couldn't triple team him. Y'all defense was stout. But that boy was over there putting points on the board.
Of course.
Man, they had the
Some of the craziest
they
snags ever.
couldn't do no single high safeties on Braylon Edwards, bro. Braylon Edwards was supposed to have been the next Randy Moss. That's what the Cleveland Browns
Yeah,
felt.
he should have went somewhere else.
Yeah, because they didn't have
He
a
would've been
legit
the dog.
quarterback.
He would have been the dog somewhere else.
Come on, I ain't pull that name out my butt.
But you know what I'm thankful for? I appreciate him talking about Michigan. Yeah, baby.
I did that for you, man.
Appreciate it, bro.
Did that for you, man.
Appreciate it.
I just want to
You know
let
what I
you
mean?
know.
Rap.
I
that you
know.
You know a little bit?
I love my stuff, man. You know, I'm like literally in a freaking sports encyclopedia. I can pull it out, man. This is what I do.
This is
It's
what
all
you
in
do
here.
all day
It's all in
long.
here, man. That's who I am.
He get lost in the sauce talking
Oh,
sports
hey
all
man,
day
like
long.
literally, that's
All
just.
day
I
long.
forgot we had cameras in here. My bad, dog. I thought, hey, my bad. Let's get to the show. Michigan, I salute y'all, man. You know, of course, I love my brother. You know, but I salute all you guys, man, for what y'all do. The alum. You know, shout out to Braylon Edwards. I hope we bringing light to Braylon Edwards, man, because,
Yeah.
dude, that was like my age group. You know, I was a couple years older, but I remember, dude, like he was that guy. You know, so put his name back out there, like it should be in the Michigan.
It should be. It should be talked about a
Man,
lot more.
seriously,
Being
seriously,
going number one overall should be talked about a lot more.
for real. You know, but back to the lecture at hand. we got a good topic here today, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna go into some talks, man. We really want to touch in some areas that we have touched before, but we want to go back and have some more discussion. And I think it's only right with my son in the room, man. We want to talk a little bit more, man, on fatherhood, man, and the impact of being a father and the reflection of being a father and the opportunity of being a father. I know once before when we talked about fathers, we kind of really took a lot more time in talking about the guys who are absent. Mm-hmm. We had a minimum time talking about the guys who were present. But I really want to talk about being present and learning and growing.
Yeah, what it takes.
What it takes, man, because us as dads, bro, we don't know, man. We kind of go, and I put a lot of thought into this statement, man. Even growing up, my dad gave me the things that he could, and other guys that were in my life, my uncles and certain guys who were able to at least give me small deposits along the way. They did what they could, but the reality is, man, this generation of kids is totally different from my generation, from our generation. This is a totally different generation of kids, bro. And how they handle information and, instructions and even corrective criticism, how they handle it is way different from how I would handle it.
Man, it's more of a defense.
Yeah.
For them, it's like corrective criticism. Like back in the days, we used to just have to sit there and take it.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. And I mean, talking about it was that dog upbringing type of conversation.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, you need to do this and be nice about it. It was like cutthroat. Those words, man, hurt your soul.
Yeah.
Just doing it, but think about it. It kept you from crossing over to the wrong side sometimes. That harsh upbringing. I know Mom Duke says, she says some of the strongest tones and words come out of her mouth that she saved you from being a part of that game. She saved you from, failing and wanting to give up. And sometimes it was almost like a wake-up call. But what you deal with versus then to now is defensive. Clapbacks, as they say. They clap back on you. They say what they want to say. The stuff that we said going into our room underneath our breath, what you say? Nothing. I ain't say nothing.
Yeah.
To now, they saying it straight to you, and you look at them like,
I got to kill you now.
You dying. Today, what time you dying, right?
I got to kill you now.
You
You just literally disrespected me. But understanding, man, I don't know why this group of kids, and I guess maybe take accountability, because one thing I noticed, man, I can speak for my kids, man, is I made sure my wife and my beautiful wife and I, made sure that our kids didn't grow up the way we did.
Right.
But did we make a mistake? Did we make a mistake
I ain't think of it
by
like that.
giving them everything that we always wanted because we never had it? Or did we do the right thing by giving them everything and sheltering them? I'm curious to know.
That's a good question.
On the flip side of it, how well have we prepared our kids to have to get it out the mud if they need to? Because we never allowed them to play in dirt. That's a psychological question. Because we had to get it out the mud because we were knee deep in mud. Meaning we had to get ourselves out of our own situations. We had to create things on our own. But for our kids, we never even allowed them to pass the green grass to go into the dirts.
They're not even outside playing anymore. They're not even their creative mind. Their minds is so. I mean, you just see them just being in the house. How talented some of these kids are, and not even putting it to use.
I seen it the other day, man. I was cutting hair, man, and it blew my freaking mind. It was a baby. The baby couldn't even talk, but did this to mom. Mom handed the baby the phone, and the baby is sitting there flicking.
Scrolling.
Can't even hold a conversation. And I'm sitting there in amazement, like watching this baby flick. And then once the baby got to what he wanted to see, he clicked on it, turned his phone sideways because he knew it was going to be the maximum screen, and sat there and watched and laughed. Oh, man, it fell out. And I'm like, how?
I don't think
the baby can't even hold a conversation.
Man, technology. We give them the technology now that we couldn't think about it. We had to wait till 5 o'clock till cartoons came on. After school.
That's why we love weekends so much.
Man, weekends.
Man, we up
What?
early on the weekends to watch cartoons. You get a big old bowl of cereal. And guess what? After a certain time, you get to go outside. And you're going to be outside from sun up to sundown.
All day.
Man, now these kids, they play more games on the phones. They play video games on the systems, or some have PC. Man, it's a whole nother thing. So my kids are a little older. They will literally sit there on YouTube, bro, and watch somebody else playing a video game.
And be amazed.
And be like, man, yeah, that was tight. I'm like, but you're not even playing. Dad, you don't get it. You got that right. Because I'm lost. If I'm going to play the game, I want to play the game. I want to feel the moment of the game. Whether if I win, lose, or draw, I want to feel the game. I want to be a part of the game. I'm not going to watch somebody else play a game that I can't even access.
So it gets back to the question. Do we shelter the kids too much? Or are we doing what's right to give them a better upbringing? You know how you grew up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of us right now didn't have a lick of grass in our front yard. A lick of grass, be kicking dirt fights all day long. You know, but at the same time,
we was some dusty little.
I was a whole different race. I had changed to somebody else. I was so dark outside, man.
Darker than what you are?
Boy,
Okay.
boy, I didn't even have a shine to me.
God.
I was outside all the time.
So you didn't know baby oil.
Baby oil, I ain't need no baby oil. He had so much dust on you. All you can see is my eyes and lips just coming in the house. I was dark, man. I wanted to be outside all day. I didn't care about coming in the house. My mama said, "Woo, Lord,
Boy,
what you?"
You just ashy Larry.
Ashy, crispy, crunchy. I was everything. I didn't care.
Oh, you was
Thank
outside.
Hey, this I tell you, I love to be outside. We had bikes, and I caught a flat. My dad wasn't home, so my mom was like, "Find a way." And you know we had those scooters out there, so I took the scooter tire, put it on my front, and I'm riding around looking like Eddie, with the little tire and the big in the back. Hey, just so I can keep going.
Hey, man.
Man, we was coming up with stuff. Stuff didn't even make sense.
Hey, man, all you have to do is just, fix the tire, man. Just patch the tire.
At that time, until Dad got home, and this is the influence of the fathers, until your father gets home and teaches you new things. What we saying, are we sheltering? When the father comes in and places a teaching session, you start coming up with stuff your own self. You don't even know how to do nothing. Oh, I know how to take a tire off and put another one on, and that's what I did. So, are we doing stuff like that? Are we coming home and teaching them how to fix a flat on the inner tube? Were we teaching them how to cook, do anything, clean?
Man, cook, but this, I don't think it's that, because, man, I love to cook, right?
Yeah.
So I'll teach my kids how to cook, but they won't retain it. The only one that'll retain it is my daughter.
Yeah.
Right? I teach my kids, of course, my sons, pumping gas, how to check oil, how to change oil. Does that mean they remember? My son taught him how to change the flat tire. He caught a flat and lost everything that I taught him how to do. You know why? Because when life is happening,
They go,
like,
they lose it.
oh, man, I didn't know that was actually going to happen, so I probably wasn't paying attention. So it's like I didn't teach them. So I think our kids retain what they want to retain, but because they know that we'll be there, we kind of put them in a situation to always lean on us. And are we damaging them for their future? Because they know without a doubt that we'll run to the rescue. See, we know that our kids don't go through as much as we went through, but the first sign of struggle, we run to them. The first thing that they do wrong, or the first time they get in trouble or do something they aren't supposed to do, we come guns blazing. I wish y'all would touch my baby. But are we teaching the lesson that comes along with that?
My opinion, I think we need to tap back into that. We talked about, fatherless homes, and we talked about the fathers that are home and standing up. But regardless if you're going to play father, we know we're providers, we're protectors, loving on the kids and other things.
Right.
We just can't come at home and think about ourselves digressing from life and just sit there on the couch and just chill, turn on sports. They still need teaching.
I'm guilty of it, man. I'm guilty of it. I'm going to tell you why I'm guilty of it. As long as everybody's in the home, when I get home, I can take the load off.
Because you feel like everybody's
Most
safe.
men think safety over information, over teaching, over, all right, so let me clock in and be dad. And we don't realize it until our kids, get to a certain age. It's like, bro, you don't know how to do that? Well, dang. Did I miss teaching you that? Man, there's been plenty of times, bro, I've worked all day getting it. Come home, and my wife got a whole list of stuff that these kids did.
Right.
So now I got to go play hammer and go nail these kids' heads with, why you do this? Why you working out your mama nerves? Why you got this going? When I ain't even had a chance to talk, hey, how was your day, son? Hey, daughter, how you do today? Is everything okay? What's on your mind? Can I help you with something? Because the boss, the wife, that already gave me the rundown from her perspective.
Right.
So now the kids looking at me like, dang, daddy, man, all you want to do is whoop us, man. I want to kind of please your mama, man, because I know your mama ain't going to lie to me. And I don't want to hear her mouth cussing and fussing. Mm-hmm. So let me go ahead and do everything that she said that y'all did. The whole time, y'all looking at me like, oh, here come daddy, man. He be tripping, man. Dad always tripping. Ah, man, I don't know what you did. We ain't even talked about it. Your mama said you did it. So us men, to keep peace, we'll follow the directions of our wife, of our girlfriends,
right,
of our baby moms, about the kids. Most men, that's what we do. Instead of really like, okay, what happened? All right, how do we make that situation better? I got a call from your teacher today. What happened? What led up to that moment? Communicate and dialogue. My youngest son, who's in the room now, probably one of the worst communicators in the family. He get frustrated. Man, I told you, Dad. Like, you can ask him 2 questions. But I'm trying to get him to understand. All right, bro, you 18 now.
Yeah.
The world won't love you the way I do. The world won't love you the way your mother do. So you have to be prepared to be able to take an accountability for whatever actions, good or bad. One thing I've learned to do, man, with my kids, I've been talking to my kids since they were 4 or 5 years old. My son can come on this camera right now. And I asked them since they were 4 or 5 years old, what do you want to do with your life? My boys play ball. I want to be a football player. What else? What else do you want to do? I tell you what, I want you to go and I want you to take a poster. I want you to create a vision board. Or I want you to go write about 4 or 5 paragraphs.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to do a presentation. Son, do you remember the presentations? Huh?
I still got the video on my phone.
Okay. They used to do the presentations. And they would have a presentation with either the poster board or that 5 paragraph explaining to me who they are, what they want to do, and what they want to be. So when you become 18 and you ready to graduate from high school, how well did that match up when you were 7, 8, 9, 10 years old compared to now, 18? And don't you dare tell me you don't know what you want to be, because I've been doing my best to prepare you since you were 4 or 5 years old. So if football doesn't work, if basketball doesn't work, You can't use that cop-out answer with me. We're solution-based. So that's a solution, bruh. I'm trying to get somebody. That's a solution. Start now. You know, the devil starts after kids early. Why do we wait, man, till these kids 14, 15, 16 years old to talk about sex, to talk about smoking, to talk about drinking, to talk about influences, to talk about careers? Why do we wait? We have to get these kids in the game now. Even now, my kids are like, oh, man, oh. No, you can't use that, bro. Let's get in the game. Let's put a solution together. I feel like I've been talking a lot, man. How do you feel, man? You have a younger son and you have a teenager.
It's tough. I'm going to speak from the man that's outside the home. You do your best to make sure the kid is provided for and you have time to spend with that kid. And if you're long distance, it's even a harder thing to do as far as filling time.
Yeah.
So the things that you can put in place, presentations, starting early, getting it in their mind, all we can do is come from behind and say,
whoa. Pause. Go ahead. Go on.
Come from behind the situation.
No Diddy.
Don't even start today. Don't even start. Come behind in the situation and try to.
Sorry.
You see how he messed up my moment?
I apologize. Oh man, go ahead. Go
Man,
ahead.
we come from behind the situation and we try to implement, our small teaching. Because who's doing real teaching when you're outside the home? Mom. She has a structure. She has things already set for school. You come in and you're the disciplinary. This child is not doing this, so I need you to enforce it. This child is not wanting to do anything different. You say, how's your day? You get a 2-part answer. You say, how's school? You get a 2-part answer.
Yeah.
How are you doing? You get a 2-part answer.
Yeah.
So where can I come in at and really be effective in that kid's life? I say, well, you see the accomplishments I made.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to do this. I want you to do that. You pretty much a phone call just ready to go, bloop. Pop, I ain't really hear you right now. Like every time you call me, you hammering something. I ain't really want to hear it. Me and Mama cool. We got this right here. Why you coming to change something up?
Ooh.
Why you changing it up?
Ooh, that's speaking from the father that's not in the home point of view.
Yes, that's what I'm speaking from. So if you outside the home, it's great that you say it like that.
Wow.
But what if you outside the home and you trying to do that?
Wow.
But a system that's already set, and you're trying to help out as much as possible. So how, for men out there who outside the home, single parenting and trying their best to be the superhero in that kid's life, the influence in that kid's life, this is the question I have to ask for the ones that are inside the home or you guys dealing with it. How can I be a great influence on my child when a system is already in place? And you even talking to the mother. Hey, have you thought about this? Can we do that? Can we take the kid? I already got everything set. So what do I have to say for it? What can I do? Everything is good. The kid is good where they at. But you were just complaining in a phone call or in person that the struggles are here.
Yeah.
Here. That the kid is now veering off to peers because it's missing my input. So here's the influence from the peers around him. Right. So you had them on the right track for a minute, but now they feeling like, you know what? I done listened to some friends. This is really not for me. Yeah. But you say, no, you going to do it this way. But then you face rejection from your child. So you don't want to lose the connection that you got with your child. The little bit of, closeness that you got, because when you start coming in being the enforcer, you start to lose a little bit of the gains that you had. There goes the kid rejecting. It goes the small talk conversations.
Yeah.
And now the kid's like, you know what? I'm not playing sports. I'm not going to school. I'm just going to graduate and just live life.
Wow. I think that's the most hurtful thing, too, for a dad, man, is for your kids to just cop out and settle for either a GED or a high school diploma.
Of course.
It's like, bro,
Especially when you done came through the mud.
man,
You done
got-
came through the mud, man,
Yeah.
and lived at your worst. And you said before, are we babying up these kids now and giving them everything they need, or we will want them to have the desires, and they have no hard time learning
Yeah.
those things? Of course.
Yeah.
But then what happens now when you outside the home? It's even worse.
Because and then in a single man's position, you're now trying to overdo with you not being in the home. You're trying to make sure that you complete every task
It's a,
to make sure that you know that I'm daddy, just in case your mama got somebody else running through her. I'm dad. I'm hey, I'm the man of your life. Nothing against stepdads, but I'm dad. Most men that are single dads, that's the first thing we think of, especially when we're active.
yeah.
You know, now we don't mind stepdads. You don't mind a stepdad if you're an active dad, but I'm dad. Understand? Like, yeah, that's my baby. And then second, we want to make sure that the kid understands who the authority is, and also you want to make sure that that kid knows that I am your financial support more than anything. You don't have to go without. That's one way that us as men try to make sure we overshoot. But my suggestion is just communicate with them. Man, a conversation is worth more than anything that you can buy. It's more than anything you can buy, man.
So my question is, and you can help me answer this as well as the audience, are we hurting ourselves as men trying to be all those things in one? You know, to the kids and really connecting with them and getting them to understand, hey, I'm going to be the dad in your life, the provider, the protector. And then when these kids start to find their own pathway, we are forcing ourselves back in. Like, hey, if you really didn't know, this is me. But are we hurting ourselves and or are we putting ourselves to expectations way up here that we're going to be this type of influential person? And when we don't meet those expectations with our children, we're disappointed.
It's kind of a loaded question. If we're going to, I think we got to maybe make it much easier. Who has the most influence on your kid? Let's just make that question easier. Who has the most influence? And if you guys, we would love to put the answer of what you think. Think about your kids. And if you don't have kids, maybe you got nieces, nephews, or maybe you're a step parent, go to the comments. Who has the most influence on your kids right now? We'll help you out. You have their peers, their friends, if they're old enough, girlfriends, boyfriends.
Yeah.
Man, you have the parents. You may have control. And if you're the kind of parent that you feel that you have the maximum control of your kid, we would love to hear from you. I want to hear exactly why you feel that way. I would love to hear. Or maybe you got God in your kid's life and they really love the Lord. Not you making them go to church. You're forcing them, but they really have a relationship with God. Because some kind of way, you have influences. Or what if it's a big brother or big sister? So who has influence over your kids. We love to hear. You know, so to go back to the single parent, the single dad, you mentioned something that was very key in my mind with you being a single dad. And you're the kind of dad also that is so cool to me, man. Your kid don't even live in the same state, but you are so active in your kid's life that a phone call is not even enough for you at times. You will pull up on a whole nother time zone to be there for your son. Some men don't have that financial backing or the ability. So what encouragement would you give to a man who's a single dad, kid is getting older, mom is really good, he has a good, baby mother,
Mm-hmm.
but he wants to do more to be in his kid life?
Stop making excuses. That's number one. You got to look at yourself. Stop making excuses why you can't. All you're facing is words from another person. If you're allowed to visit, if it ain't that, that type of drama, if you're allowed to visit, there's something coming up that you can be a part of. It could be, a parent-teacher day.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that child, you missed that child, go see him. Go see him. Go spend some time with him, because when you show up, there's a different light that happens in that child. That's number one. Being there, showing up, that's a different light. And then, of course, if you got the means, provide as much as you can. If you just took them out for something to eat, and you sitting there and say, man, look at you, you got big.
So I tell you, I'm going to put you on the spot, man. Look in that camera and encourage that man. In this moment, what would you say to that brother?
It's not easy. It's not every day that you wake up and you don't feel the presence of your child being there. You feel a part of you is missing. But just as hard as you are driven to get up and keep going, don't forget about that child. This is the start, the day you can just call and say, how you doing? I miss you. I love you. As a kid get older, they're going to start to understand a little bit more of your struggles. And maybe in due time you can have a conversation and say, hey, I may not be there every day, but I work towards it every single day. And when you get a small window of opportunity, jump on it. If you don't have a car, there's always a Greyhound. I done rode the Greyhound, and I'm not ashamed of it. I would jump off that Greyhound in 2 seconds and run on my feet, as long as I got shoes, and make it to the house to see my kid. So I encourage you to first look at yourself, don't make no more excuses, push forward, do anything and everything you can to keep showing up. And when that kid becomes an adult and start facing real life, they're going to start understanding, like, Pops was facing all this at work and all the different places and making sure he was stable to make sure that I had just enough to make it. And at least all he can give me, he kept calling me. He came and see me when he could. And that's going to be the biggest memory in their mind, is that you never gave up on them. So don't be absent because you're struggling. Be present during the struggle, and that's going to be the greatest influence you can give your children, is being there during the struggle and showing them that you can overcome it.
Yeah.
And they're going to remember that. All about memories, 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 memories. So anytime that I'm with my child, I don't care if it's from his favorite food to him, playing video games. I just want to be a part of it. Just sitting there watching them play with friends. Taking them to go eat and say, how you doing? Him smiling by seeing his little brother. I don't care what it is, I miss, being there every day, but this is all I got, and I'm going to take full advantage of it. So no more excuses on it. Be present during the struggle. Be present of any opportunity you get, and lead that child to the greatest memories of their parent, from here on out.
That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. I think, man, sometimes things like that need to be heard from a person that's in the experience, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think we do that enough. It ain't coming from somebody like me, married with kids. It's coming from a brother that's in the fight. I'm in the fight with you. And that was good, bro. That was good. I appreciate that. So even on the flip side, we want to call on our viewers for this one here. If you have information, if you have resources, or if you know of resources that help men become better men, that help men who have kids that are teenagers, that, you know, want to have better opportunities, you know, any type of resources that can help the youth, that can help men, anything, men and our youth. We want to hear from you. We're here in Texas, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And again, man, we're building something straight up. We're building something great. But we want to make sure we at least extend the hand out, as well as receive the hand that's coming back from our supporters. We want you guys to have the first opportunity to help in what we are doing.
Yeah.
You know, again, if you want to donate, don't hesitate. You know, it's going to a great place. It's going to a great place, man. We have some great things ahead. You know, so back into the conversation as we go. So, the father in the home. Kyson's how old?
3.
Man, it's like he's about 5.
Huge.
God.
Huge DNA.
Man.
Huge.
God, he looks 5. So, him having the experience of dad, right? Dad's accessible, dad's available. You can see the joy, the experience of having your father. You're pretty active. It's times, man, you got gymnastics going, you got swimming going, you got t-ball going, you know, on top of working, on top of us, you know, meeting and having this. I want to commend you, man, because as a father, that goes unseen by so many people. That's showing up. Sometimes we just gotta show up, man. That's it.
That's it. You can see the difference in a child who's outside the home, who's in the home, or a father who's close by or far away. You can see the difference. To the fathers that have a loaded schedule and still makes time to be there to give a little bit of medicine when they're sick, or be there to show up and walk in during an event, or picking up a kid and just riding them back home.
Yep.
That part right there speaks volume that you're making effort as a man. So the ones that do that, I know I look up to my dad, my big brother, Richard. Their schedule's always loaded. But somehow, some way, I'm picking up the kids today. I'm teaching. I'm playing with them for 20 minutes, heavy, and getting them to giggle and laugh and do all this little fun stuff. That part is unseen, and that part is real, that we commend, you know, other fathers that can do that. You still pick on these boys all day long. I see you picking on them all day, and the influence on them, the respectful mannerisms that they have. These are strong young men you see that has that mindset that comes from you. So when they don't even see that you do, a father's in the home does, the father's outside the home, that effort right there that goes unseen from there, that's a big win that we want to talk about, you know, commending, you know, that type of effort given to these kids, man. So that part right there, I mean, I feel like it's effortless. I feel like it's just being you. And you put them in the, you know, your circle of what you do. So that should be effortless. It should be something you love to do every day.
Yeah, that's real. That's real, man. I know my mindset of my kids, man, when my kids were playing ball, man, as they were growing up, as when they were little kids, little bitty 4, 5, 6 year olds, right? My mindset was this: nothing gets in the way of the game. I'll always be there to watch your games. And I worked 14-hour days and coached.
Mm-hmm.
And I would miss a practice. I ain't missing a game. And I'll be there to pick you up from practice. But games, I know what that felt like. I can't say it enough, man, to always look up in the stands and you don't see anybody. It's like, man, really?
Yeah.
Or you look around and you see all of your friends had their parents. This is why, this is another part of our show, too, that I want to go into. We have to be dad for our kids' friends as well. My kids, they, the friends call me Pops. What's up, Pops? And I have conversations with them. Because you may have an influence on my son or my daughter that I don't. So if I can put my DNA and the things that I know and I've learned, and I can apply it to you, then my kids can be doing something that they shouldn't be doing, and you be like, hey man, Pop's gonna be tripping, bro. You should do this.
Yeah, that's part of being a father, period, and being involved in your kid's life, that you influence the other fatherless homes.
Yeah.
My parents did that constantly throughout the neighborhood. Like I said, we used to bring the whole football team to the house. And how many of those kids didn't have fathers? And just your parents come down there showing love, getting to know them, talking to them for a minute, fill their bellies up with some food that they wasn't probably going to eat tonight. Huge influence. So you can influence the peers that's around your children. While letting your kids know, like, hey, I'm trying to steer you in the right direction, without trying to enforce it, because I think it's a good balance. Bring your peers in.
Yeah.
Bring your peers in so we can have a good balance in here. We can have this thing going forward all together. And you on the right track, your kids the other kids on the right track.
Yeah.
So when the kids say, how many kids you heard that came through the peers of your children to say, I'm not going to school after this. I'm going to graduate and I ain't doing nothing else after this.
How many?
Yeah.
Man, not a lot. Not a lot, because I had that conversation. The crazy thing, so like I said, with my son, he's here right now. Whenever his friends see me, I have those same conversations that I had with them. I ask them how they doing, of course. Also, I ask, what's your plans? What are we looking at? How are things looking right now? What's on your to-do list? These kids are still young, or you working out, or you keeping your body in shape, or you just playing video games. What you doing right now to prepare yourself for the next step? And a lot of those kids, oh yes sir, I got a camp I'm going to, or yeah, I already signed up for for the school, and I'm just working out to get ready for football next year. Or hey, I got a quarter scholarship, I got a full scholarship, I got a partial scholarship, or man, I'm prepared to go off to the military. And I ask those questions to my kids' closest friends, because you are my kid, but you are a reflection of the friends that you have around you. So whatever they got going on, and you spend most of your time with them, is what you more than likely gonna have going on.
Right.
So if all they want to do is sit around, vape, smoke, and play video games, you are the company you keep, big dog. No matter what I put in.
So what do you do when you feel like your kid goes to good school and good grades, and all of a sudden they decide to turn left? I don't want to go to school. I don't feel like doing nothing. I just want to hang. You felt like you was talking to the peers.
Yeah.
You felt like you was, putting a good influence out, but your child just feel overwhelmed and says, stop everything?
That's a good question.
What do you do, parents, for that? Because a lot of kids are doing it more often. Now, they're doing it such a high rate when all we cared about was making it out of the hood and going to a school, playing ball if we could play ball, or saying that we're established in this job title. Now they don't want to do it. They don't want to do anything. So this new era that you talked about, and an influence you're trying to do with the peers, it turns left. So what do we do?
You know what I think it all stems from? Fear. Fear, bro. False evidence appearing real. They have a false evidence of a perception that appears to be real when it's really, I am afraid of what's next. Because, again, I'm becoming more and more detached from the things that I'm used to. So true, you're becoming older. And true, as you get older, you do have to detach yourself from mom and dad, or from dad, or from mom. But understand, bro, daddy ain't going nowhere. Mommy ain't going nowhere. I got your back. But I have to give you the rope. Because if I don't give you the rope, you will A, never leave, or B, hang yourself because you are going to see everybody else around you thriving and living. So you have complacency because you're afraid. It's fear. False evidence appearing real.
So would you say that's a solution for the fathers to do, is give enough rope for the kid to experience life but still hold on to it?
No, this is what, yes and no. I'm going to tell you. Know why you're giving rope and how you're giving rope, and not just give rope. That's a part of the problem, is we give rope with no solution.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to give you some rope. Yeah, I'm going to give you. And you gave a kid enough rope to go out and venture off, and, you know, it's just like this. I hate to compare it, but I have to. You got a dog, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you put that dog on a leash, right? And crazy folks, I'm not comparing kids to dogs. It's just an analogy. Bruh. You have a dog, right?
Yeah.
Your dog's pretty big.
Big boy.
Yeah. So when you walk that dog, do you have a tighter leash or a looser leash?
I say about medium. I give him just enough. I don't want him leading.
Say that again.
Just enough.
Why?
Because he's not leading me.
Why?
Because he don't know what he's doing. He don't know what he's doing. If it was up to him, he gonna stop at every pole, tree, whatever.
Because he's not ready to lead. He's not prepared to lead. I'm going to give you enough rope to where I don't harm you, but I'm giving you a tight enough rope to let you know, hey, I'm still guiding you.
Yeah.
That's where we miss it as parents, bro.
Yeah.
We either give too much rope and our kids out here tripping, and we don't know how to figure out how to reel them back in because we didn't give them so much rope they didn't been exposed to too much stuff.
Yeah. Way too much. Oof. A lot more.
Or we hold them so tight because it's like, oh, no, I can't let you go.
We push them right out. So here's the problem I have, is a father who is really trying to influence is going to give enough rope.
Mm-hmm.
But there's fathers that let go completely, get upset if the child is going left, and they let go of the rope completely and say, you do you. You know better than me, you do you. And then your child comes back later in due time, and they done been through the worst. Do you blame yourself for that?
What age and what part of life
Right at high school. That's normally when it normally happens.
You know what?
That's the clapback all the time. It's right
Why
in high school.
why does a certain culture feel the need to get rid of our kids after high school? That makes no sense to me.
Hmm.
High school, bruh, it was free. For most people, high school is free unless you go to a private school. And those kids that parents send them to private school are more likely not going to be pushed out into the real world because that private school investment has probably prepared you educationally for the next level. So now you're probably going to go off to school and you're probably going to get a better education because private school prepares you intellectually for the next level. So if you have a kid that's in public schools, and there's nothing against public school information, but your kid is in public school, you probably had the kid going for free. You may have paid for lunch, or you might have had reduced lunch. I don't even care about that part. But what I do care about is when that kid stands on that stage and they call their name, they are not prepared to go to the next level. And you and your bright self, this kid can't even keep his room clean, but you're going to tell them they're going to have to figure out life? They can't even figure out a doggone little bitty room, and their room smell like feet and booty. So how you expect them to go out on life? Come on, man. Let's keep it 100.
There's flashbacks right there.
It's the truth. It's the truth. Is there a lie in it?
Feet and booty.
Feet and booty. It's the truth, man.
Yeah.
That's the kid you want to send out there to life and you wonder why it's a crash course? Man, hey, look, we got to do better. I got to do better. I'm learning every day, big dog. I'm here telling my truths all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But if you know better, you do better, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's where we are, man. That's what I love, man, about life, man. As we even segue and travel to a close of this thing, man. If we had three things, we touched on a lot of different things in fatherhood.
So, yeah, we touched on a lot of things.
Single fathers, dads that are there. If we hit three things, man, we're approaching graduation, so I can handle this part right here. For my kid, who's 18,
Yeah.
and my oldest son, he'll be 21 here. So my kids are a little older, right? As I transition to this part of fatherhood, I'm learning a different style of parenting. And this style of parenting, man, it's a little bit more uneasy, a little bit more stressful. Because my style of parenting when my kids were teenagers and kids was control. It was that analogy to where
You gripping tight, yeah.
yeah. Now, not only do I have to trust what I put in them, I gotta trust God. I have to be able to say, man, I feel God, boy. I have to be able to say that what I put in you, even though it may not look like what I put in you is working, but I have to be able to say that the word that I put in you, it won't return void. The things that God has allowed me to put into you, that you'll still become the best man of God that you can be. Because that's what matters, bro. Because if you become a great man of God, or my daughter becomes a great woman of God, then you'll be a great friend. You'll be a great, in my boy's case, a husband. You'll be a great father. I don't never want my kids to be afraid to ask me questions. From now until they're in their 30s and 40s themselves, hey, Daddy, I'm at this crossroad, man, and my son is,
Yeah.
and my daughter is. and I can give them sound wisdom. So to that dad who is a lot like me, man, kids are much older, and that grip has to be loosened. If I can encourage you, trust God, man. And even if you feel that you haven't given them enough, still give them everything that they need to have. But trust the fact that your word that you give them is from heaven. God said in his word, man. If he said it, his word will not return to him void. You, Chris, with where you are, the younger babies.
Well, yeah, I'll take it from here. You know, from my position to the men out there, encouragement, like I said before, I wear this men's truth split. I didn't think about it until you just said it. And that's being divided in two spaces. You know, inside the home, outside the home. And no matter if you feel like you split down the middle in your fatherhood, Kev, you talked about, you know, depositing that word and influence in their life. We got a longer leash. Our leash is so long it's loose. So you can do jump ropes in it. But the more important thing, like I said, is being influenced with what you got. The time that you have is making sure that, okay, the best thing I can do from long distance before I end my day, I can check on my child. I got time during the holiday, I can go see my child if the child can't come to you. And you want to have the greatest influence, like you said, communication with that child, that you can still have the same impact that you have being inside the house, being far distance, because all we're doing is communicating majority of the time. So when you say you can't, I'm the best communicator ever with my child. Talking to him all the time, laugh, joke, cut up, whatever we can just to connect. And when it's my time to spend with you, I leave the greatest impression ever into the next time I see you. So don't ever look at your flaws and say you can't. We're supposed to be the ones overcoming all these things so you can be able to show them 20s and 30s and 40s. You can do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I grew up with my parents, so I see two different sides. My parents are here and great influences in my life. It didn't show me how to do that part. I wouldn't probably know how to do the co-parenting part. And I just try to make everything count for me because, you know, I don't know if my child would veer off to having the peers take my place. So I don't want that to happen, so I try to be able to, you know, deposit the things of me into that child. So you like, hey, I still want to be like dad. Hey, I want to talk to dad about these problems. Hey, I enjoy time with dad. Just hearing that part right there makes you feel like you're right there. So being divided is not saying that you can't go without still doing what you need to do as a father. So no excuses, no hiccups to say you couldn't do this or couldn't do that. Make every little moment count of what you got and watch the results later, you know, in life. And that's where you're going to see that child develop into an adult and say, you know what, you had the greatest impact here. And that's all we want to, is to influence our kids to grow up and turn out to be the greatest version of you.
Yeah.
Right there.
I love it, bro. I love it. So we bring this thing to a close, baby. This is a pretty good segment, man, especially knowing that my son's about to graduate high school, man, and he's in the room, man. Can't say this enough. I'm so grateful, man. I'm that dad that's grateful to have our family the way it is, man. the way my wife was brought up versus the way I was brought up, and we come together, man, and we are basically against the odds of our demographics, bro. We're beating the odds, man. Man, I have a great partner in my wife, man. She is so dope, man, because God is good, man. He's given us something
Oh
special.
yeah. Shout out to LaRoyce.
Bro, seriously. Yeah. Man,
Definitely.
for real, man. So, we want to thank y'all for tuning in, man. And Man's Truth, man. We in this thing. Wait a minute. You know I got a song.
It's that time again.
I got a song. And man, this is probably one of my all-time favorite songs, man. For real, this is probably one of my all-time favorite songs. And I guarantee
Somebody gonna start
after
singing?
you watch this, you will go and tune in to this song. Without further ado, Sounds of Blackness, Optimistic. Sounds of Blackness, Optimistic. You be optimistic, man.
I'm gonna need to go listen to that because I ain't picked it up. Probably know the song though.
I bet you will.
Bet you I do.
I bet you will. It's one of the most encouraging songs, man, of all time. It's one of my probably top 5. You know, but we want to thank y'all for tuning in to Men's Truth. Go turn on Sounds of Blackness,
Yes.
Optimistic. I'm your boy Kev.
Rick in the building. Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
y'all support. And tune in next time.
Absolutely. God bless.
God bless.